is a formation in here. Guardian Battle Host is a Farseer, 3 units of Guardian Defenders, a Viper Squadron, a unit of Warwalkers, a Val's Wraith Support Battery, and a Warlock Conclave. It's going to be a very long video.
It's that.
It is that at the beginning. Okay, so it has the thing at the beginning and it breaks it down for you. Oh, there are special rules. That's your frustrated eye scratch. Units of Guardian Defenders from this formation can take a heavy weapons platform. What are you doing to my little... Oh. At no points cost instead of the points cost listed on their datasheet. Oh wow.
The Guardians. Units of Guardians.
Their heavy platform is free.
Yeah, well, it only costs like 10 points anyway, doesn't it?
Val's Might Vipers, Warwalkers,
Vipers?
and Val's Wraith support weapons from this formation gain the Prefer Enemy special rule when shooting at a unit that was within 12 inches of the Guardian Defenders. That's not going to be a huge thing.
No.
The huge thing is you're not paying for your platform with the Guardians.
So you get that and you get that.
And you run 6 inches.
Yeah, so you get both of those if you take that.
Yeah. Wind Rider Host. The Farseer Warlock Conclave, 3 units of Wind Riders and a Viper Squadron. So those of you that do a Samhain army would be loving this. The restrictions are the Farseer must be upgraded to a Skyrunner and all models in the Warlock Conclave must have Skyrunners. The Tempest of Blades is the special rule, and once per game, as long as the Farseer from this formation has not been removed with a casualty, the Eldar player can declare a Tempest of Blades at the start of their shooting. All shuriken weapons in this formation gain Shred special rule, which is huge, because all those re-roll to misses, if you roll 6s, become AP2.
Not only is it huge, look how many...
That's a lot of jet. That is a Samhain.
Samhain!
I might not be using jet bikes anymore, just because I don't have enough.
You just don't know what thing to do.
I just don't have enough jet bikes right now. Guardian Storm Host, though.
Your shopping list is getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
Shut up. My Guardian Storm Host. Which is a Farseer, 3 units of Storm Guardians, a Viper Squadron, a unit of Warwalkers, a Val's Wrath support battery, and 0 to 1 Warlock Conclave. Bring forth the torch! Up to 2 Guardians in each Storm Guardian units in this formation may exchange their close combat weapons and shuriken pistols for either flamers or fusion guns for no additional points.
That's big.
I no longer need fire dragons. If I've got Guardians with fusion weapons for free, and Wraith Guard with D weapons, which can hurt vehicles, I don't need fire dragons anymore. So fire dragons were amazing, they've now made them there. In addition, up to 2 other Guardians in each of these units may exchange their close combat weapon for power swords. No, that's fine, I don't care about that one. That is huge! So huge. I need some Guardians.
You need one of these as well, and a Val's blade support. The thing is, so let's figure out the points for this, which is the one you've just said, the Guardian Stormhost. 1 Farseer.
100 points.
3 units of Storm Guardians.
82 points, I think it was.
But then you take 72 points, but you take a wave 7 with each of them.
Yeah.
They get their armaments for free.
Yeah.
So it's
110 plus to that.
So 182 times 3.
240. 246 plus 300. 546.
So what was the Farseer?
100. So 646.
On Viper Squadron.
You can have one for 40 points.
So
7. 5, 4, 6. Do we have 6, 5, 4, 6 or 6, 4, 6?
6, 4, 6 with the Farseer.
7, 4, 6. War Walkers. I don't remember how much they were.
7, 4, 6. Or
mental arithmetic.
6, 4, 6 plus 40.
Oh, 6, 8, 6. I don't remember the War Walkers. But you'd upgrade them.
60 points for one. What would you upgrade them with?
You'd probably take 3 more.
So you can only have 2 more.
2 more, 180.
108.
Bright Lances. 195. 6, 8, 6. So 870-ish.
Support battery.
We just said 150 odd points for the D weapon ones. The D cannon one.
So it's 90. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 1,000. I don't want the Warlock Conclave. So that's
So
1,000
points for your HQ or your core. Core. Right. Then you'd have what? What did you just say? Your things with D weapons.
Hemlock. 185.
No, Wraith Guard.
Oh yeah, Wraith Guard.
So you'd have to have 3 units of Wraith Guard or Wraith Blades.
Right.
The spirits.
It's 160 times 3.
That's 480.
480, so you're at 1480.
A Wraith Lord.
He was 120. So that's 1600.
A Wraith Knight.
295. 1895.
And a Spirit Seer.
So you're over 1900. You can't have a Hemlock.
So you wouldn't have any flyers. You wouldn't have your Fire Prism. So you could do it if you took like 1 War Walker.
Yeah, we'd have to play around with the points and stuff. But that Guardian host looks like to be around 1,000 points.
It's about the same as that, isn't it?
However,
it's exactly the same as that.
But I wouldn't take.
How is that any different to that?
It's Guardian Defenders.
Oh, there you go. So it's whether you want Defenders or the Fusion. And you'd probably go for the Fusion because
Probably.
you get 6 for free.
Seer Council is 2 Farseers and a Warlock Conclave. The restrictions are the Warlock Conclave must include at least 5 models. If any Farseer or Warlock in this formation upgrades to a Skyrunner, all of them have to. They have Psychic Bond. Both Farseers must join the Warlock Conclave before deployment and cannot leave it. Path of the Seer. If this formation is chosen as your primary detachment, you can re-roll the results when rolling on the Warlord trait. And Psychic Might. When models from this formation make psychic tests, results of a 3-up will harness a warp charge instead of a 4-up. So if you like psychic stuff, you do that. Aspect Host. 3 units of any of the aspects in whatever you do. The restriction is each unit in this formation must include an Exarch. Rites of Battle. Immediately after determining Warlord traits, choose either Weapon Skill or Ballistic Skill. All units in this formation add 1 to the chosen characteristic. And Shrine Keepers. Models from this formation can re-roll failed morale, pinning and fear tests.
Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill could be quite big, but the thing is with that, what would you have?
Weapon Skill's not going to help you. You're going to hit on a 3-up anyway, so you would do it on a Ballistic Skill. They're either Shuriken weapons or the missile launchers. Okay, the Dire Avenger Shrine. 3 units of Dire Avengers. Restriction, only 1 unit in the formation may take an Exarch. They have Killing Strike once per game in the shooting phase. This formation can perform a Killing Strike. For the duration of that phase, all Avenger Shuriken catapults carried by models of this formation are assault 3 instead of 2, which is quite huge. Rights to the Avenger. All models in this formation add 1 to their ballistic skill. And Shrine Keepers. Models from this formation can reroll fail morale, pinning and fear tests. Crimson Death. 3 Crimson Hunter, only 1 could be an Exarch. They have preferred enemy on flyers, flying monstrous creatures. All models in this formation have a 4-up cover save. If models in this formation choose to jink, it can reroll failed cover saves during the start of the next turn. That's why you take them, because they're nigh on invincible and can kill other things.
But they're a lot of points.
Wraith Host, which is the Spirit Seer, 3 units of Wraith Guard or Wraith Blades in any combination, a Wraith Lord and a Wraith Knight. They now have Battle Focus. So your Wraith Blades are moving 6 inches, they can then run 6 inches, and their range is 12 inches. Their range has now gone up by 6 inches, essentially.
What, your Wraith Blades?
Those D-weapon Wraith Guard.
You said Blades.
Shut up. Guided Wraith Sight. Wraith Guard, Wraith Blades, Wraith Lords and Wraith Knights from this formation can re-roll failed to hit rolls against enemy units that are within 18 inches of the Spirit Seer in this formation.
Which, in just the general thing, it was only 12 inches, wasn't it?
And that's it. And then it's got Warlord traits. Ambush of Blades. Want use only. Declare your Warlord is using this ability at the start of one of your shooting or assault phases. For the duration of the phase, the Warlord and all friendly units with the Eldar faction within 12 inches of him re-roll to wound. Hit rolls of a 1. On 2 is an eye on distant events. Choose up to D3 units in your army. These units gain Scout. 3. Falcon Swiftness. The Warlord and his units add 3 to the dice roll when determining how far they can run. Fate's Messenger is number 4. The Warlord re-rolls all saving throw results of a 1. Mark of an Incomparable Hunter is number 5. The Warlord has Split Fire. 6. Seer of the Shifting Vector. Friendly units with the Eldar faction arriving by Deep Strike do not scatter as long as the first model placed is within 12 inches of the Warlord. Runes of Battle seem to be the same. Runes of Fate seem to be the same, but Eldritch Storm now has 2 profiles. The first one is Strength and is Warp Charge 3 or 4. The Warp Charge 4 one essentially turns the large blast into Apocalyptic Blast, Fleshbane, Haywire, Pinning, which makes Farseism a lot more effective and a bit crazy because they can do this one. An Apocalyptic Barrage of Fleshbane and Haywire is huge. If you imagine how you had your Imperial Guard the other day with your tanks all together, I just do an Apocalyptic Barrage, they're all taking Haywire.
You've got to get within my range.
24 inches. Easy. Put them on a jet bike. Jump up 12 inches.
Put them on a jetpack.
So, thoughts?
Eldar was strong before. Not much has really changed. They've kind of, from the 6th edition, they've kind of just brought it into the 7th edition and just fine-tuned some of the rules and made them a bit more streamlined, a bit more clear.
The only thing that went up in price that we can see is the Wraith Knight, but now he has 2 D weapons, so it makes sense.
And the weapon that you upgraded him before is now free. Whereas it was like 40.
Aspect Warriors now gain extra rules depending on which one it is. The big thing for me is what we just discussed about literally 5 minutes ago was what you can fit in. you really have to sit down and think about how you want your army to be if choosing the war host like this. Now, I don't know if you could do the traditional thing anymore of 2 HQs where you have to have a HQ, 2 troops, or 2 HQs, 6 troops, fast attacks, heavy support. Or I could just say, I'm not using the forces of Craftworld war host thing. I'm going to do an unbound list, which essentially is creating a list like how you used to. But I don't know. Can you still do the 1 HQ, 2 troops, 3 fast, 3 heavy support as normal?
I think that is now more of a... I don't know. I don't think...
Because I don't want to be restricted to this for war host. If you can put in the comment section below what you think about that, what you know. Do I have to do this force org essentially, or unbound? Or can I do the traditional way of building an army, adding this or choosing this, or unbound? Because it does say here, when you create it, if you're using a Battleforge method, you will instead need to organise the models in your collection into detachments. I guess that answers the question.
You have to take it like this. And the only reason they've now got it as HQ as heavy and stuff is so that
when you do
unbound, you know where they fit in.
But like we said, the Guardian Stormhost one is 1,000 points. It doesn't leave you a lot of points left over. The Eldar are quite expensive.
That's why you go unbound.
Yeah.
Depending on what.
So if I like
because
to
obviously there's big advantages for having something from this Craftworld force. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've made it so that the prices reflect that.
So I have to.
Price of points.
If I want Wraithguard, I need 3 units, and I need to have them in a Wraith host, which in itself costs
almost 1,000 points.
Almost 1,000 points. But then they have battle focus. If I want to have the fact that Storm Guardians don't pay for their fusion weapons, or Guardian Defenders don't pay for their heavy platforms, I have to go for that. Or I go unbound and pay the extra. But then I can have a unit of Wraith Guard.
But that is the whole thing with the 7th edition. Do you go with the formations, getting your extra bonuses, or do you go unbound and take what you want to take? And both are equally as strong, because if you take... You don't necessarily have to take a Wraith Knight, a Wraith Lord, and take a Hemlock Crispy Duck Fighter.
Yeah, that's the words.
So it's kind of, where do you go with it?
I think what I need to do, because I have almost all of these models.
That's not right. War Walkers
and Wraith.
Val's platforms.
I think I need to get a unit
Hemlock.
of them. Yeah, but I can proxy what I
want.
But then the Farseer would be kind of cool, doing the apocalyptic thing. If I want Avatar, I can't fit an Avatar into this that I've just said. If I want a Wraith host, I need to go Iandan army list.
That's only if you want guard.
Well, you would, because they're good. That's what I think. This detachment list is great for you, like what it says. What is it? What is this codex called? Craftworlds. You want an Iandan Craftworld? We just made a 2,000 point list. Guardian Stormhost and a Wraith host. If you want a Samhain army, you go Windrider host with Seer Council, and you upgrade them with all the jet bikes and stuff, and then you add in Crimson Hunters and stuff like that. If you want a Baal Tan army, you go for Guardian Battle Host, and then Heroes of the Craftworlds.
In the Necron Codex, it's very similar. in that you have the detachment and it's for that.
But this is, from reading these detachment, it is very much a Craftworld Eldar Codex. And reading this codex through fully and just looking at that, they've done a very good job of creating Craftworlds. I know a lot of people that like Ayandon and Sam Hine. Not so much Aeletic, because that's just the snipers, but you can have the sniper dude with loads of ranges.
It fits more to in what you want your army to do.
What is Eldar right now in the universe? Each Craftworld is on their giant Craftworld in space. They never form alliances unless the universe was going to explode. They're in their own things. So you have your Craftworld. Take this detachment, this is the Craftworld's army. Or you go unbound and do a list like I could do, is have a Hemlock Wraith Fighter, a unit of Wraith Guard with some Guardians, and then bits and bobs here and there. My normal list is an unbound list. If I want to use this codex essentially to the fullest, I have to kind of pick a Craftworld that I want to use. But it means I have to spend a hell of a lot more money on Games Workshop. Models are pretty much similar.
The only different models are the
jet bikes and the Autark. And the detachment makes everything that much better. But it makes you big Craftworld, which is very interesting. I think this codex would be quite good against most armies and Necrons. If you knew you were going to battle against someone, you could definitely tailor your detachment list to really hurt them. I think it's going to be powerful, but because they're so expensive, you can't fit everything you want in this detachment, which would mean I would have to pay extra points and lose out on some rules just so I can have the models I want. So as a codex, I think they've done a very good job with this. I think it is an upgraded version of the Eldar Codex.
Yeah,
really.
they've streamlined it into 7th
streamlined it into 7th edition, added a few detachments, but that's fine. I'm fine with that, and there's a hell of a lot of reading I can do now. There's
the 2 pages you opened up were just pictures.
There's essentially like 70 odd pages of
War and Peace
stories, yes. So as a final verdict from just reading it, it is brilliant to make Craftworlds. And it streamlines the aspect warriors, gives you a few extra benefits into 7th edition. I think it's a great codex. But right now, because of the detachment and how you make an army, we don't know how powerful it will be until we do some play testing. So I'm going to write I'm going to write a couple of Craftworld lists. I'm going to try and do them for each of the Craftworlds, and then I will build an unbound list, and we'll do another video where I go through all the lists and we give our opinions on them, and just see how much of a difference this codex has made to that one. But we'll do that for another time. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a very long video, and I hope you've enjoyed our in-depth look at Codex Eldar Craftworlds. I've been Mark from the Xenobits channel.
I've been Ian.
Thanks very much for watching. Please comment, share, like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.